Yeah, good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Well, so let us start with today's topic. So we will continue with the errors in research, right? So different types of error may creep in. We stopped there. Different types of error, right? So one by one, we'll see what are the different types of error, right? Which might creep in the research. So there are two types of research. One due to be respondent gives some tick somewhere which is not correct, so that is a error. And another that can be system error, systematic error. That means the error in the questionnaire or the research design, or which is due to the due to the error due to the person who is interviewing. Okay, so two types of error we may find. So let me share the PPT because there are so many definitions.
सर मिड टर्म का सिलेबस कहाँ तक है?
Syllabus today we'll finish it up. We are almost done. So we are almost done. Today we'll finish. Okay. Yeah. So we have, yeah, so we stopped here. If you remember, we stopped at the different types of errors, right? Different types of errors. So just let me, okay. So two types of error, major error. One is random error, another is systematic error. Another now random error is just due to sampling, right? So this we are not going to study at detail, but we should know what is a sampling error. Sampling error is those error which happens due to the sample, right? But we will discuss about the systematic error, that is respondent error and administrative error. That means respondent, the person who is filling the questionnaire, might cause some error. One, now two types of error for the person, the respondent is having two types of error: non-response error, response error. So this is a very good slide where you can see all the types of error. So non-response, response. Now response may be of two types: deliberate falsification, response bias. I think I discussed a little bit about this. I discussed a little bit about this. Deliberate falsification, unconscious misrepresentation, right? Sometimes deliberately the respondent will tell you lie, maybe deliberately, because you are asking income, okay, or to maintain their social prestige, right? To maintain their ego, they sometimes may tell you a wrong answer. They may give you, right? Do you own a BMW? Yes, I own. They may tell even this sort of lies also in real life. Okay, so you should be cautious about the deliberate falsification or unconscious misrepresentation, right? Sometimes the questionnaire that is made, that is, I had given many examples that how wrong question can forced, right? So I suppose you have given the options. What is your qualification? PG, say graduation, post graduation, PhD. But suppose the person is a postdoc. The person is a postdoc. So there is no place to tick. So what he will do, he will tick at PhD. But actually he is a postdoc. That means after PhD, there is a, there is a qualification which is called, which is done after the PhD. So postdoc. So he is getting no way to tick. So he is deliberately, unconsciously, he is basically misrepresentation. It can be of 5 types. So of acquiescence bias, extremity bias, interviewer bias, auspicious bias, social desirability bias, and administrative error. So I will give one example of this. Administrative error, maybe data processing error, very dangerous. This is a very dangerous error actually. Data processing error will not get any output. Okay, so this error we need to be very cautious whenever we are dealing with any data. Sample selection error already done. Interviewer error, interviewer cheating. Sometimes interviewer do some cheating. They put some wrong data, right? So let us discuss one by one. So respondent error, first of all, respondent error, as we know, non-response error. Non-response error means not replying, right? The statistical difference between a survey that includes only those who responded and a perfect survey that would also include those who failed to respond, did not respond, non-response error. That is also error. Okay, so let us focus on the five types of errors. So first of all, error is that deliberate falsification. Deliberately respondent is telling the lie. Why? Because suppose if I ask you, right, just very interesting, see, suppose anyone appeared for CAT here, CAT entrance exam test? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Abhishek?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you appeared now. So now if I asked a question, right, how many times did you appear for CAT? Just to understand what is this deliberate falsification. Many students may think that, okay, I have given 3 times CAT and I could not crack, and I have landed up in IBS. So let me say I have appeared once. Might. Deliberate falsification, right? They may do this sort of falsification. Or sometimes what people thinks actually in the terms of an average person, right? So he will first think, a student will think, average student kitne bar CAT deta hai? How many times does a student, average student, see, this is called the average person hypothesis, right? So average student 2 बार CAT देता है, फिर थक जाता है, and then he goes to some 2-tier B school. Just for example, okay. So my thing is that there is something called average person hypothesis. The respondent thinks in term, even this happened in terms of salary. This may happen. Suppose you can ask the employee's salary, right? So the person may think what is the average salary of a IT company in the middle level, right? Or what is the salary of a person in the automobile industry in the entry level, right? If somebody tells that I get 1 crore in entry level, that is a deliberate falsification. Cannot happen. We know, right? So even the employers also know that what the package generally a 2-tier B school gives to the students. Generally, it is from say 3 to 12 lakhs generally for a 2-tier B school. If it is IIMs, the package can go as high as 1 crore also. But if it is a 2-tier B school, it cannot go beyond than 16 lakhs, more or less. Okay. So this is the average person hypothesis. So average person hypothesis. So what is this? Very important, concept. That's why people also tell lie, right? So misrepresent answer to appear intelligent. Some student may think, I have given cat 3 times, I could not crack. So the interviewer may think that I am a dull student. So let me tell, I have appeared once only, right? So this sort of salary also the people might be the person is in a high rank in an organization, but that does not mean that he is getting high salary, right? So these things are very, very sensitive things. So people tell lie deliberately. So okay, so misrepresent answer to appear intelligent. Number one, conceal personal information in social life. Are you married? Yes. But suppose people don't try to tell their actual social status, whether you are divorced or whether you are staying separate, right? Many I have seen that they tell that they are happily married, but actually they are divorced. Actually. So these things happen. Personal information. People try to conceal, hide, right? And then there comes the deliberate falsification. Deliberate. Right? Avoid embarrassment. Yeah, for social thing, embarrassment. People don't want to say I am a divorcee. Are you employed or unemployed, right? Suppose the person is unemployed. So all these are case of deliberate falsification. Unconscious misrepresentation. It's not that every time deliberately the respondent will say lie or give a wrong answer, but it can be unconscious also, right? Okay, so when a respondent is consciously trying to be truthful and cooperative, response bias can arise from the question format. Try to understand. Try to understand. I'm not reading the slides, but try to understand question format. But who is making the question? The researcher is framing the question. The question content, right? You are a postdoc and you get a questionnaire where the postdoc is not there, only graduate, postgraduate, PhD, or only graduate and postgraduate is there, but you are a PhD. So you have to, there is no other way. You have to write I am a postgraduate, right? Okay. So the question content or some other stimulus that affects their response. There can be some other stimulus also, right? So now, very important, please look here. What are the sources? Number one, misunderstanding of the question. The person don't understand, right? The question itself, right? Suppose is your system slow in an office, in an employee. Suppose you want to see the, you want to test the, you know, the system, whether the system, the computer system, I mean system, is efficient or not. But the person might face a software problem, but you are asking whether your hardware, whether your CPU capacity is less, or your hard disk capacity is less, or it's a Intel 3 5 4 7. So like this, you are asking different question and he is having a different problem. So misunderstanding the question, number one. Number two, unable to recall details. Sometimes we cannot recall. Suppose 2 months back in the IPL, in the IPL, what advertisement was shown? What are the advertisement that you like during this match? Very difficult. 2 months back, it's very difficult. So unprepared response to an unexpected question, right? Sometimes questions are unexpected. Inability to translate feelings into words. Sometimes how happy you are very happy, but in the word, how should you express that, right? What question should you ask to capture happiness? Suppose you want to see the happiness index of Infosys employees, right? It's not that happiness will come from salary, right? A person may be very rich, but he is not happy, right? So inability to translate feelings into words after event under reporting, right? So these are some bias which happens due to unconscious misrepresentation. Yeah, very important, very important. Types of bias. What are the types? Number one is acquiescence bias. Acquiescence means every time the person has a tendency, when a new product comes, right? Specifically the millennials, right? Whenever a new product comes, they will buy, right? Even the kids, right? Whenever a kid enters, somebody is the chat, somebody, okay, Sania. Okay, a tendency. Sometimes you will find, if you are having kids in your home, the kids will say, whenever they will enter a shop, they will want whatever be the new toys that are arriving, right? Similarly, a tendency to agree with almost all or most questions. This happens in marketing. In marketing research, you will find that whenever a new product is launched, right? As a customer, we feel this might be better. So yes, do you like the product? Yes. What it is? Is it better than your previous product? Yes. Everything yes, because the customer has it in its mind that obviously the company is coming with a new product, or suppose a new car model. Obviously there will be some added features. If you see the Maruti's business, policy, every 6 months or 1 year they will come with a new feature in the car, right? So, and if you give a questionnaire to a customer, they will say yes, this is obviously better. पहले तो मेरा power steering नहीं था, पहले मेरा power windows नहीं था. I used to roll down my window, roll up my window, and now I am getting the power windows and so on, right? Airbags नहीं था, अभी airbags है, and so on. So this is called acquiescence bias. Next is extremity bias. What is extremity bias? Any idea what is extremity bias? Yeah, what is extremity bias? Any idea?
They get angry, sir.
No, not angry. Angry is irritating question. Okay, if you ask a irritating question, the person will get angry, right? What is extremity bias? Any idea? Okay, let me explain. See, generally we ask the respondents to rank between 1 to 10 or 1 to 7, like this, right? So extremity bias, there are different types of people with different psychological framework. So somebody thinks that 10, giving a 10 out of 10, a product cannot be 100% ideal. Some people think that 10 to ho hi nahi sakta. Just like whenever I give marks, I think 10 to nahi hai, 9 let me give 9. Absolutely I correct to nahi ho sakta hai, koi na bhi to galti hai, कहीं पे hypothesis लिखना भूल गया, कुछ हो गया, right? This is a human psychology. So people thinks absolutely, even absolutely dull. किसी student को whenever I give 0, I think twice. नहीं कुछ तो लिखा है, 2 लाइन तो लिखा है at least. So this thing happens, right? Extremity bias means that either give 10 or 1. Some people think that we can give 10 and 1. Some people think, some persons are of the opinion, no, let us give some marks, at least attend. So he has attended interview, right? Interview or questionnaire, whatever. So extremity bias means the tendency of some individuals to use extremes when responding to questions, right? Some say only 1 and 10, बीच में कोई, so that becomes a bias actually, right? हर क्वेश्चन में 10 10 10 10. स्टैटिस्टिकली क्या होगा? स्टैटिस्टिकली प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा वो जब क्वेश्चनर आएगा, if the respondent is having a bias, right? Because statistics wants variation. Okay, interviewer bias. What is an interviewer bias? The presence of the interviewer influences respondents' answer. Now suppose face-to-face interview, right? If it is a face-to-face interview, interviewer is present. You have seen the political leader interview or the interview of Mukesh Ambani and the industrialists, right? Face-to-face. So here what happens, interviewer has some liking, dislikings, all those encroach the interview, right? He or she is interviewer bias. Interviewer asks some biased questions, right? So the presence of the interviewer influence respondents' answer, right? Yeah, very important. Social desirability bias. Please, those who are into HR area, you should be very cautious when designing this sort of questions, because people have a social desirability. Now, suppose if I ask you, do you respect your father? Yes, no. How many of you will say no here in this class out of 60 students?
Novels.
Nobody? I think nobody. In Indian culture, maybe in US or UK there can be, because they generally don't stay with their parents also. But in India, I think it's 100, almost 90%, 95% will say we respect our father. Do you respect your faculty or not? Yes, no. Question. There may be 5% who do not like, the faculty. So might be, but 95%. This is a social desirability bias. Bias in responses. Even sometimes, the survey of these products, like even if you see the personal life, if you asked a question of personal life, say, are you a straight or a gay sort of thing, right? So in this case, it may happen that people will not try to reveal that he is a gay, right? So personal question, in whenever the question is very personal, people don't want to reveal, right? So bias in responses caused by respondents' desire, either conscious or unconscious, to gain prestige or appear in a different social role, right? Similarly, there are different biases. We cannot discuss all, but a few more. Yeah, but this is very, very important. Please, you can write this 4 types of error also. Very important. If this error creeps in, your research is bound to get almost near to failure. So be very cautious of these 4 errors. Be very cautious whenever any sort of research, even in your, whenever you are joining the corporates, you should be very much aware of this first error. I will have a full session after this, after the midterm, on data processing error. Can anybody tell me what is data processing? Just what is data processing? What is data processing in research? What we do? Any idea?
Sir, maybe when we transform data into useful information, so we can respond to our like company in better way. Filtering the data, we can say so.
Yeah, very close. Any one response if you can give on this data processing error, because this is very important. You will face whenever you will be doing your live project also.
So we collect data and translate into a useful information.
But what is the error here? What error can be
सर
there?
जैसे while entering हमसे कुछ गलती हो जाती है, हमने किसी एक का डाटा गलत डाल दिया तो उसकी वजह से सबका डाटा गलत हो गया आगे.
Yes, yes.
तो एरर आ जाएगा, मतलब प्रोसेसिंग एरर हो जाएगा.
हाँ.
या फिर सर कोई सेल एम्प्टी छोड़ दिया.
हाँ, excellent. Who is this?
सर दक्ष.
Daksh. Excellent. Missing frequency. There are different names. I am not going into detail. It itself will take 2 sessions. 2 sessions to learn data processing.
सर यार वैल्यू रिवर्स करके भी तो डाल देते हैं कभी-कभी.
हाँ, रिवर्स कोडिंग भी होता है. There are many I will discuss whenever I discuss SPSS. Reverse coding. We do reverse coding, right? Yes. So this we will learn practically. Let us leave it here. Okay. So, but this is very important for your live project actually. So I am specially mentioning data processing error.
सर इसमें सर सब मैथमेटिकली एरर हो सकता है, मतलब अर्थमेटिकली.
हाँ, my means what sort of error you are meaning?
सर कोई भी ऐसे आपने डेटा करा हो जो ट्रांसलेट करा हो उस इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए, और सर उसमें कोई भी फंक्शन या कोई भी कुछ नहीं लगा सही से, तो अर्थमेटिकली एरर आ जाएगा।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मैं आपको बताता हूँ। I am telling you, suppose you are entering data. See, computer SPSS software, I will be teaching you SPSS. SPSS software don't understand anything other than 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9. So आपका पूरा क्वेश्चनर में 0, 1, 2, 3, 9 ही होगा, मेल फीमेल नहीं होगा. Suppose you have coded male as 1 and female as 2, but by chance there are 400 respondents, right? 400 questionnaire आपने भराया, you have filled up 400 questionnaires, but by chance in one place instead of 2 you have written 1, 2, that means 12. Your program will not run. You will not get any output. So any misrepresentation, any incorrect data entry. Now you think of this whole sheet, 400 respondent, and suppose you have asked 30 questions. 30 minimum, I am taking minimum. People ask 100 questions. So 440, are you getting me? Are you getting me? 40 in the this column, 400. If you enter this in a matrix Excel sheet, this row will be 400 because each row represent one respondent. One row, one respondent. Here, one respondent, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And each column, each question. Remember this, okay? Each column, each question. Are you male? What is your gender? Male, female. One column. What is your income? A, B, C, D, up to 10 to 3000 and so on. So 1, 2, 3, like this, right? So like this here in the column, 30 questions you have asked, 30. So 400 into 30, how much? Roughly 400 into 30?
12,000.
12,000. 12,000 data you have to input, right? So think of the Excel sheet. If this 12,000 you make a single wrong entry of, or there is no any entry, blank. Suppose you have forgotten, you are talking and entering the data and you have forgotten one column, one cell even, your program will not run. So this is a very serious error actually. This will be, you will be very drained out with this error, right? So this is called data processing error. It is easier said than done actually. So data processing error, incorrect data entry, incorrect computer programming, or other procedural errors during data analysis. I will discuss for two sessions before I start analysis. Okay, next, sample selection error. There can be improper sample design. Already I discussed many times the opinion poll, right? Interviewer error. Mistakes made by interviewers failing to record survey responses correctly. See, all the data processing error, this is also a data processing error. Interviewer error. Mistakes made by failing to record survey responses correctly. Interviewer cheating. That's why the interviewer do cheating. You may ask why cheating? Because suppose you have taken a questionnaire and the respondent has not marked anything. So what you will do after you come back? You cannot get that respondent because you have come back with the data. आपके पास वो respondent है ही नहीं. अब आप क्या करोगे? You will do cheating. So filling in fake answers or falsifying questionnaires by an interview. आप false data भर दोगे वहां पे. But there are methods, statistical methods. When I discuss, I will tell you how to enter a data without falsifying, how statistically we can be correct. Okay, let us move forward. Yes, so yeah, very, very important. Please listen here. There are two types of study, cross-sectional study, and see definitions you can read later on. I am just giving you the idea. Cross-sectional study and longitudinal study. Cross-sectional study, whenever we take the data once, right? Customer satisfaction of Indian Airlines, right? So we have gone to the market, we have gone to the flyers and collected the response only once. Take the data, did the data analysis. This is called a cross-sectional study. But every year, as a researcher, you have gone to 2017, you have taken data from the same respondent. You have taken the in 2019 and 2020, 3 years data you have taken. This is called a longitudinal study. So cross-sectional study and longitudinal study. See, in cross-sectional is just like taking a snap by a mobile phone. Whenever we take a snap in a mobile phone, what happens? We take only once, right? Only one picture comes. But this is just like a video every year. So last 10 years, just like this longitudinal study is done in the finance field. Suppose stock market, right? You want to see the movement. It is also called a time series data that you have read in your quants, time series data, right? But there is difference between longitudinal and time series. So, but we need to understand the major difference between cross-sectional and longitudinal. So in cross-sectional study, various segments of a population are sampled and data are collected at a single moment in time. Only once we collect. That is called a cross-sectional. Vis-a-vis longitudinal, a survey of respondents at different times, thus allowing analysis of response continuity and changes over time. You want to see the placements of XYZ school. It will not be very, you cannot be very sure with only the 2019 batch. You should also see the last 5 years. 18, kya average placement tha? 17, 16, 15. At least from 15 to 19, you will say. You will take data for 15 student pass out students. You will take data from alumni of 2016, 17, 18, 19. Then only you are a bit sure that yes, this is the pattern of placements in XYZ business school. Only taking a snapshot does not give a clear picture. उसी साल में अच्छा हो गया था, ये भी हो सकता है, बाद में हुआ ही नहीं पहले कोई. So longitudinal study is survey of respondents. Please note the definition: a survey of respondents at different times, thus allowing analysis of response continuity and changes over time. 5 साल में क्या change हुआ placement में, you can understand that. So there is another marketing students do this sort of study which is called consumer panel, right? Consumer panel. So consumer panel, it's a survey of the sample of individuals or households to record their attitude, behavior, or purchasing habits. See, over time, right? Over time, what is the attitude? What is the behavior? What is the customer satisfaction is not only once, right? Over the time, how this product is doing of say Unilever, over the time, how Lux soap, over the time, the last five years. So there should be a consumer panel. Consumer panel means in consumer panel, you cannot have different samples at different years. You should go to the same sample, right? So a survey of the sample, same sample, you can see the definition. Each word has a meaning. Please look at my cursor. Consumer panel, a survey of same sample of individuals, right, or households to record their attitude, behavior, or purchasing habits over time. Okay, so fine. So we are done with this. We actually continued. So next we will move on to, so that this we just started in the last section and we completed that. So now we will start with the survey, responding with how to communicate with respondents. Very important. Yeah. So what are the different methods? Can anybody tell me how to communicate with respondents? What are the different methods? Yeah, Daksh.
Questionnaire or interview, questionnaire.
And
Sir, questionnaire to telephonic interview and
email.
सब
Email.
पोल भी हो सकता है.
phone, yes, हो सकता है.
पोल
Poll,
like
poll, yes.
ऑनलाइन पोल्स होते हैं ना.
या पोल हो सकता है. और क्या हो सकता है? डोर टू डोर इंटरव्यू,
yes, sir. Road.
personal interview. All of you are correct, 100% correct. Personal interview, door to door interview, email interview, website. I think website you forgot, na? Website interview, surveymonkey.com. Yesterday only I told you, surveymonkey.com website, right? Then different interviews, different, emails. You can email, you can do by email. So we will now do a very simple topic. So actually I have done with the crucial topic. I have finished. These are the topics you can just have a read. Nothing is there, but still I will quickly run through this, right? So first of all, let us go to personal interviews, right? So what is a personal interview? It's a form of direct communication in which an interviewer asks respondents question face to face. So no writing, no reading, only answering question. Very versatile, flexible, truly interactive. Interviews of, say, business leaders or interviews of your respondents. It might not be business leader or political leader. It can be your respondents also. Personal interview, CEOs, right? You go take the interview of 30 CEOs or 100 CEOs, right? Respondents, personal interview. Personally you approach, fix a time, go and then take the interview. So very versatile and flexible and truly interactive. Here you can interact. Questionnaire में क्या होता है? आपने जो question दिया, he or she will just tick. No extra, you cannot get any extra feedback, right? You will not get any feedback, right? But here, personal interview is truly interactive, number one. So let me cover personal interview. So one by one, I will take up, okay? So what happens? What are the advantages of personal interview? Number one, high participation. High participation because the respondent and the interviewer are face to face and participation is very high, right? You are asked, the researcher is asking, the respondent is answering. High participation. Where is my highlighter? Yes, high participation. Opportunity for feedback. You can also ask that, sir, I am doing this study. Please give me some feedback, right? Probing complex answers. Some answers might be very complex, right? Some questions actually. So you can, some answers, so you can ask some more questions to understand those answers, right? Because see, whenever a CEO is talking, he is talking very on a larger perspective. So you might want to know so what he is talking about, whether he is talking about the manpower, material, money, consequences, technology, what he is actually meaning, right? He may give a just, suppose you asked what is your key differentiator of your organization, or what is your competitive advantage? Question you asked. He suppose says that mine is my people, right? People. So what? People is a very big. Then you can ask some more questions. That what? How do you give the training? How do you recruit? Okay, how do you, and so on. You can probe. Probing. Probing means asking further question, going deep into details. Length of interview. The interviewer is taking the interview. Length is also at your hand. Completeness of questionnaire. You can check what he has answered and what he has not answered. And props and visuals. Suppose you are working for a marketing company, you are working for an advertisement company, right? So you can show some visuals, you can show some advertisement and say that are you liking this advertisement, or what improvement should be done, okay? Or you can show a product, right? That this product packaging, okay, in marketing you can do this sort of study also. You can show whether this packaging, how it looks, how do you feel, and everything. So this is a very good method, but disadvantage is also there for personal interview. Number one, interviewer influence. Here the interviewer can influence, right, and get some answers that he is wanting. So that is called interviewer influence. Cost will go high in this, because suppose you are going to 100 CEOs and 100 CEOs are living in 100 cities, or say suppose 30 cities. So you have to travel to 30 cities, so your cost will go high. Although the method is very effective, as a researcher you are getting very genuine answers and you are asking one-to-one, right? So chances of getting genuine answer is more in this here, but lack of anonymity of respondent. Here there is no lack, because the respondent knows that whoever person you are giving. So lack of anonymity of respondent is there. So disadvantage is less, but advantage are more. So let us, door-to-door interview. Generally this is done for new product launch, okay, or checking the brand awareness, okay, checking the customer customer awareness of the product, brand awareness, or new product launch, right? On all these sort of surveys are done door-to-door interviews. So door-to-door interview is nothing but a personal interview. Actually it is a personal interview. You are going to door, you are going to the customer itself or the employee itself, but you are going to his house actually, right? House. See, in office the people may face problem, difficult to answer, but in his house he is more comfortable. You go to the weekend, go during the weekend, the person will be more reluctant to answer, right? Sorry. So personal interviews conducted at residents' doorsteps in an effort to increase the participation rate in the survey, right? So here the participation rate is increased in door-to-door interview. Yeah, very quickly, I will not explain all the points. It's very self-explanatory. So what are the interview characteristics for door-to-door? Speed of data collection, moderate to fast. Speed of data collection, moderate, right, to fast. Geographical flexibility, limited to moderate. Why limited in the lower side? Because you have to visit. Suppose you are going to 400 respondents and you have to go door-to-door, right? So, and suppose pan India, right? Some of you are telling, sir, North India. So whenever you are doing in North India, at least you have to cover 10 cities of North India, or minimum 7-8 cities, right? So geographical flexibility. Some group was talking about, I think. So geographical flexibility, limited to moderate. Respondent cooperation, excellent, because you are going to the house, his house, right? And you are having a one-to-one chit chat, right? So respondent cooperation is excellent. Versatility of questioning, quite versatile. You can ask any question you want. Questionnaire length long, you can have a long questionnaire. Item non-response low, right? So here the interviewer will be happy to answer. So non-response will be low here. Possibility of respondent misunderstanding, lowest. Sometimes we seen that in my last slide we saw that there are some errors due to the respondent don't understand the question. So here the chance is less. Suppose as an interviewer you understand that he could not understand the question, you can further explain him because the interviewer is present there. Okay, but questionnaire is a you don't know whether he understood or don't understood the questionnaire, you don't know, right? But here you can understand that the person also can ask you because you are sitting in front, so you can ask, or sorry, the respondent can ask you that what is the meaning of your question, what do you mean, and then he answers. So that is better than answering wrong. Okay, so supervision of interviewers moderate, right? Supervision is moderate. Anonymity of respondent low, because here the respondent is known that he or she is the respondent. Ease of callback or follow-up difficult, very difficult to call back here in this case. Oh, sorry, ease of callback. Here there is a he can easily call back because you build a rapport with the person, you visited you independently. So later on say, sir, I forgot this question, can you answer? He will answer most probably. So cost highest, very important. Please look here. That is the most disadvantage. I talked about the disadvantage also, very high cost. Suppose 100 CEOs or even 100 respondents you want to attend, and they are in 30 cities. You have to travel each city you have to then even in the same city you have to travel. Okay, so cost will go high. Yeah, next is mall intercept personal interview, right? Sometimes what the interviewers do, they just they go to a mall and they try to intercept a person in the mall, right, and conduct the interview there to see specifically to see the purchase behavior, all the branding studies. So if some of the group has taken branding, you can just visit a mall and you will get their people, right? But you might not get different money. You have to make your decision. I am just giving you what are the different modes of interview. So personal interview conducted in a shopping mall. Previously it was a door to door, you have gone to the house. Now you are stationed in a mall, right? So interviewers typically intercept shoppers at a central point within the shopping center or at the main entrance, and then you ask the questions that you what is your preference, brand preference, whatever questionnaire you give the questionnaire in the mall. So what are again let us see what are the characteristics. Let us just see what are the characteristics. Okay, so speed of data collection, fast, very fast, because you are only stationed in a mall. You are not going to, suppose in Delhi, right, there are 50 malls. So you choose, I will go to one mall in North Delhi, one in East, one West, one South, and one in the Central. So 5 malls you target, 5 malls you go for 5 days, your data collection is done. Very easy. Speed of data collection 5 days, right? Project bhi ban jayega. Okay, so speed of data collection fast. Geographical flexibility confined. You have confined कि मुझे दिल्ली का मॉल से ही लेना है. But what happens is this urban bias, right? Suppose your study is also include the rural people, right? If it is urban, then it is fine. But if you are also including the rural people, then you will not get very less rural people in the malls, right? They generally don't go to mall and buy, or they don't order. They may order, but they generally go to their local store. Okay, the local shopping complex sort of, or local stores, they prefer that, right? So respondent cooperation, moderate to low. Here cooperation might be low, the people are busy buying, They will say, no, 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 you will give questionnaire. They will say, no, no, I'm in the buying. I cannot fill it now, right? Versatility of questioning, extremely versatile. You can ask questions. Questionnaire length, moderate to long. You can give a lengthy questionnaire. Item non-response, medium. Possibility of respondent misunderstanding, lowest. Here you are physically present again, so misunderstanding will be less. You can say, sir, this is the question, please, if you can again tick. So degree of interviewer influence of answers, highest. Supervision of interview, moderate to high. Anonymity of respondent, here again it is low. Ease of callback or follow-up, it is difficult here. Here it is difficult, right? Why? Because suppose you have not taken the number, or suppose he or she, specifically females don't want to, will not give you, will be reluctant to give you numbers also, right? So you cannot call her back. And suppose you are doing a study on the woman, right? On the females, right? Suppose we are studying on work-life balance or the purchase behavior of the females, right? But they will not give you your numbers. They rarely give, right, in Indian scenario. So ease of callback or follow-up difficult. You met in the mall, she has vanished and now you don't know. Suppose one answer, one question she has not ticked. So you don't know how to get that answer. She is left, not given her number. So you are not having her, coordinates. Okay. So cost lower than door to door. In door to door, you are going to, if in same city also, you are going to 400 addresses, right? But here you are only stationed in 5 malls and you are getting your respondents in the 5 malls. Very less cost. So these students generally should prefer this. I think as a student, you should go to some mall or some retail space, retail store, or some hospital. You can also go. But these days corona is spreading wings, so it's very risky. You can go to banks also, private banks, government banks, right? So you can collect data from there. Okay, so special features, taste. Okay, so that's all about mall intercept interview, mall intercept interviews. Telephone interviews, yeah, somebody was telling telephone interviews, right? But telephone interview might be sometimes, people just go this do not call, do not disturb registry, right? If they are into that, then the call will not come actually. So whoever the customers you have, suppose you have got the numbers, but then also the mobile, or whether it is a landline or mobile, it will be very difficult to reach the customers, those who are in your list. So telephone interview is also very good mode. So it is actually a personal interview, but conducted by telephone, right? Through landline. It can be through mobile also, right? So the mainstay of commercial survey research, generally the commercial, all the telemarketing. Okay, nowadays telemarketing is also done, right? Telemarketing for some product, some companies do telemarketing, right? Through the their survey research. No call legislation has limited this capacity, but sometimes nowadays the calling different mobile companies, they also apply this do not disturb or do not all those no call legislation. So this also limit do not call registry. If the number has applied for do not, or these days people go for Truecaller, right? Whenever I also take a call, I see in a Truecaller who is the person, right? So I understand whether it's a marketing person or something. When it's a marketing person, I will not take the call, right? So these are some mode of interview, a little bit telephone interview, yeah. Yeah. So let us go to the phone interview characteristics. What are the characteristics in phone interview? Yeah. So speed, you can see the speed is high. Almost within 1 or 2 days, you can finish your total data collection over phone. If you're having the number, and if the person takes your call, or even if you can call back during the weekends, if you can call back, right? Cost may go high because you have to make so many calls. Absence of face-to-face contact. Again, there is a chance for falsification because it's not a face-to-face contact, right? Cooperation is there. People cooperate because you are calling, right? Incentives, yeah. Generally, what companies?
Yes, sir. Sir, इसमें cost high थोड़ा आएगी sir. इसमें तो low ही होगी कोई cost तो.
You can call it moderate actually, because yeah, it's moderate, not high. It's moderate, right? But see, everything is relative. For door to door, obviously, if we compare with respect to door to door, it will be less, right? But see, there are other modes. Why I am telling, if you go to portal, survey portal, it will be very cheap. And if you go by email, email is almost, almost free. But call, you have to pay something if you're doing for your own, right? But internet, and so I will come to this email and internet survey also. Nowadays, we are more into email and internet survey. All these things are of the past that I am discussing, but still many companies follow this mode. So I'll come to this modes, different modes. Okay, let me just complete this. So cooperation, incentives to respond. Sometimes some company, what they do, they give some incentives that if you fill up such and such questionnaire, will get incentive. So with the luring the respondents with some incentive, the respondent answered the phone calls. Representative samples you can get here. Yeah. So you can see the locality. If you get the phone numbers are segregated according to pin codes also, or the locality. Suppose you want some consumers from East Delhi, from Central, some West, some East, South. So you can locate the geographical area by this method also. So representative sample you will get here. Callbacks, you can do callback, very important. Callbacks you can do. Okay. So nowadays we'll find that answering machines are there also, no? This voice calls thing, right? So you can leave the message in the voice mode. So that the person, if he or she feels, can call back later on. Limited duration, you cannot talk for very long, limited. Lack of visual medium, very important. This is the most disadvantage also. Suppose you are doing marketing, you are doing some marketing survey, or you are doing some new product launch, but you cannot show the product here, very difficult, right? In WhatsApp call you can show, but it's very difficult sometimes, it gets problematic. So these, we will continue with this. Let us, types of, we will continue. So let us take a short break and we will continue. Yeah, we are almost done. A little bit of experimental research we'll discuss, and that's the end of our syllabus. Yeah, any question till now? Any question? But I will take the question after we come back. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.